Hubie Halloween stars writer and producer Adam Sandler as the titular Hubie Dubois, a member of the community in the town of Salem, who spends every Halloween making sure that the local residents have fun and play by the rules. However, this year, the fun and games are about to get much more serious as an escaped convict and a mysterious new neighbor have Hubie on high alert. Here are hidden truths about the Halloween special as compiled by Riveted. A real-life truth. Hubie Halloween is about a Halloween fan who monitors his hometown of Salem, Massachusetts in order to make sure everyone is safely trick-or-treating. But one ironic part about Hubie Dubois' character is that he gets frightened easily, making his job that much harder. Well, Adam Sandler recently told Polygon that this particular aspect of the character is actually true to his own personality. He said, "In real life, I get scared pretty easy. When I come home and the lights are off, I'm not excited. I don't like that. I'll push my wife in there. I go, 'What's going on? Come on, check out the kitchen.' It's pathetic." Well, the easily frightened personality of Hubie Dubois in Hubie Halloween was one of the better aspects of the whole comedy. It makes his character both likable for his courage and oddly funny when he does freak out over the consistent Halloween scares. Kevin James's worst part. Kevin James's character, Sergeant Downey, is the Salem cop who ultimately winds up investigating some of Hubie's claims on Halloween. James enjoyed working on the film, telling Access Hollywood that doing Hubie Halloween was literally like going back to summer camp with all of his friends. One of the defining character traits of the character, which was invented by Sandler himself, is that Downey wears his sunglasses at night. It turns out that those sunglasses were real and real dark too. He said that it was really difficult and dangerous to drive at night with the sunglasses, but luckily everyone survived. Filming locations. Netflix's Hubie Halloween may be a treat, but the movie also invokes a trick. Most of it wasn't filmed in the town of Salem. The movie may take place in the historic Massachusetts town, which was made famous by the 1692 witch trials and, of course, the movie Hocus Pocus, but filming actually took place throughout the North Shore region, including Marblehead, Ipswich, Beverly, and Danvers, among other spots. Hubie Halloween opens with a shot of the fictitious Westford Estate Mental Hospital, but the building is actually the exterior of the Public Health Museum in Tewksbury, Massachusetts, formerly the old administration building at the historic Tewksbury Hospital. The building has also served as a location for a few scenes in Hulu's Stephen King-inspired show Castle Rock. Though Crosby's Marketplace, where Hubie is employed as a butcher, has a location in Salem, the grocery store featured in the movie is actually the Crosby's located in Marblehead. The Black Cat Diner, where Violet works as a waitress, is actually the Portside Diner in Danvers, Mass. Private homes along Ledgewood Drive in Danvers were also used for the homes of Hubie and his mom and their neighbor, Walter. Another scene from the movie features the Mendon Twin Drive-In movie theater, which is located in Mendon, Mass. One of the only spots featured in Hubie Halloween that's actually located in Salem is the Salem Witch Museum, which is where Hubie and his love interest, Violet, reunite. Happy Gilmore. Hubie Halloween opens up in a psychiatric hospital, and guess who's working there? That's right, it's none other than Ben Stiller, reprising his role as Hal. We see him walk into the room of a patient who is seemingly asleep to stir him for his delicious dinner of hot dogs and green jello. In trademark Hal fashion, he threatens to inflict pain on the sleeping person. Hal pulls back the covers to reveal that he isn't talking to a patient at all, but a pile of wieners and jello. Hal's handlebar mustache is back, although it looks decidedly bushier than it did in the 1996 golf-themed comedy, but his horrific tendencies to threaten the health and safety of patients have definitely remained intact. The voice of DJ Aurora. Throughout the movie, the audience hears ominous exposition recited by a local radio DJ named Aurora. This unseen quasi-narrator has the smooth, smoky tones of a lounge singer, setting Hubie up for a surprise when he visits the station and finds Shaquille O'Neal behind the mic. Shaq's role in Hubie Halloween marks his third collaboration with Adam Sandler. He first appeared in 2014's Grown Ups 2, playing Officer Fluzzo. Earlier in 2020, both performers contributed separately to Quibi's home movie, The Princess Bride, a DIY remake of the 1987 classic of the same name. There, Sandler appeared as the grandfather, and Shaq played Fezzik the Giant. The voice of DJ Aurora and Hubie Halloween is, unfortunately, not provided by Shaq. The voice of the radio personality is provided by actress Vivian Nixon. Nixon has popped up a few times over the years with recurring parts on Glee and Smash, but is probably best known for her work on Grey's Anatomy and its spin-off series, Station 19. What is Tim Meadow screaming? When Tim Meadow's character in Hubie Halloween is startled, he lets out a yell that sounds an awful lot like an actual word rather than just a shriek. Netflix's subtitles, however, just branded a scream. Polygon asked Meadows directly as to what he's yelling. Meadows revealed, expressing his own bewilderment at the word. "I'm glad to tell you the story. I said, Schnikey. I even asked those guys, like, you want me to say, I have to say this?" According to Meadows, the word was just something that writer Tim Hurley thought was funny to yell when a character was scared, though Meadows also speculated that it might be a Chris Farley reference. Cameron Boyce tribute. Speaking to Jimmy Fallon ahead of Hubie Halloween's release, Adam Sandler revealed that Hubie Halloween is dedicated to the actor Cameron Boyce, who receives a touching tribute at the end of the film. Cameron tragically passed away on July 6, 2019 due to complications relating to epilepsy. In the interview with Jimmy Fallon, Adam Sandler confirmed that Cameron Boyce was originally slated to appear in Hubie Halloween, but his untimely death came just days before shooting was scheduled to begin. Despite that, Sandler and the filmmakers decided that it would be fitting to pay tribute to Cameron Boyce, who passed away at the age of 20. The Water Boy. Hubie Dubois is a kind of man-child still living with his mother, and many in the community look down on him for that reason. As he patrols the town during Halloween, he frequently carries a thermos that doubles as a gadget that can do many things. His character has many similarities to the Water Boy's Bobby Boucher. Steve Buscemi as a werewolf. Hubie Halloween doesn't just feature references to Adam Sandler's live-action work, as there is even one included linking to the Hotel Transylvania series. Specifically, throughout the new Netflix feature, there is a suggestion that Walter Lambert may be a werewolf, as he has a sensitivity to the full moon and is shown with big patches of hair on his arms. And it's hard to imagine that it isn't meant as a nod to Genndy Tartakovsky's animated movie, given that the character Buscemi voices, Wayne, is notably a lycanthrope. Monster Mash. Hubie Halloween's soundtrack is crammed full of spine-tingling tunes that'll get you in the mood for Hubie's signature day. Still, Monster Mash deserves some special attention. Not only does Bobby Pickett's novelty hit open and close the movie, but you'll see Pickett's 1962 record, the original Monster Mash, hanging on the wall of Salem's local radio station. I Was a Teenage Zombie. Hubie's investigation leads him to the local drive-in theater where many of Salem's residents are enjoying a spooky double feature. Hubie isn't there to watch a movie, of course. He's looking for the person who abducted Mike Mundy. Still, when the scene begins, we get a quick glimpse of the movies playing at the outdoor theater, and one of them is very much an actual film. The version of I Was a Teenage Zombie that appears in Hubie Halloween is a parody starring sketch comedian Martin Herlihy as the titular undead teen, frequent Adam Sandler and Happy Madison collaborator Alan Covert as his father, and Sandler's longtime assistant J.D. Donnarumma as the ill-fated milkman. Double V initials. Jolie Bowen is the latest actress to reunite with Adam Sandler in one of his comedies, having previously played the romantic interest in Happy Gilmore. But the reference being discussed here actually goes a bit deeper than that. In Hubie Halloween, Bowen plays a character named Violet Valentine, which marks a return to Sandler, always acting opposite female leads with double V initials. The Modern Family actress played Virginia Venet in the 1996 sports movie parody, but before her, Bridget Wilson-Sampras played Veronica Vaughn in Billy Madison. And a few years after, Fairuza Balk played Vicky Valancourt in The Water Boy. A Nightmare on Elm Street. While chatting with the cops, Hubie notes that Walter Lambert, his mysterious next-door neighbor, lives at 59 Elm Street, meaning that Hubie and his mother live on the same road. Anyone who knows anything about slasher movies should catch the nod immediately. As you probably know, Elm Street is also the hunting grounds of one Freddy Krueger, who made his feature film debut in 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street, and who went on to become one of the most iconic horror villains ever. Billy Madison. Fans of Billy Madison can recall that the titular character, played by Adam, of course, was constantly bullied by a family group known as the O'Doyles. Interestingly enough, the O'Doyles get a shout-out in Adam's latest Netflix flick when Hubie is riding his bike through Salem and starts getting followed and harassed by a group of boys wearing scream masks. While whizzing through town on their bikes, movie boss caught one of the boys yelling, "O'Doyle rules!" In Billy Madison, Billy and his friends also leave a flaming bag of excrement on an elderly man's front porch as a cruel prank. Well, this comes back to haunt Adam via Hubie. Turns out the Scream bullies used the same weapon to hurl at Hubie early on in the film. Billy Madison also featured actress Gladys O'Connor, and she is remembered for the line in Billy Madison, "If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis." Sadly, O'Connor passed away in 2012 at the amazing age of 108. But Hubie Halloween does a nice job keeping her spirit alive by making us reflect fondly on her work. There's a character named Dot who is dressed in similar period clothing as O'Connor's unnamed tour guide character, and it's hard not to think about her epic line when Dot pops in at one moment to comment on Virginia by saying, "I'm asexual, but that girl's making me hella horny." Danny McGrath costume. Steve Buscemi's cameo in the Hubie Halloween already brings movie fans back to his and Adam's collaboration on Billy Madison, as well as The Wedding Singer, Big Daddy, and several other Sandler comedies. But what's even more interesting is that Steve's character in Billy Madison, Danny McGrath, dons a similar hairstyle and blue shirt as Walter Lambert, who Steve plays in Hubie Halloween. The comparison is most noticeable when Hubie comes across Walter in his basement. Even though the shirt isn't identical, the similarities are too great to pass off as pure coincidence. Hidden clues. As Hubie tries to figure out who's abducting Salem's residents, he runs across a number of suspects. There's his next-door neighbor, Walter Lambert, whose proclivities tend towards the lycanthropic. There's Hubie's childhood friend, Richie Lambert, who recently escaped from a nearby asylum and has made his way back to his hometown. There's Hubie's longtime crush, Violet Valentine, who shares the kidnapper's love of Chardonnay. And there's also Hubie himself. The real criminal ends up being Hubie's mother, who's simply trying to protect her sweet little boy. It's a twist ending, but there are a few hints throughout the movie that Ma Dubois is behind the whole thing. Early on, Hubie needs help opening a jar of frosting. His mother handles it with ease. Yes, that's a joke about how weak Hubie is, but it's also an indication that Hubie's mother is phenomenally strong for her age. You can also see that her mask is different from Richie Hartman's. While the asylum resident wears a pig mask with round eyes, the point-of-view shots that appear during the abduction scenes feature triangle-shaped eye holes, letting us know that Hartman isn't the culprit. As we conclude, did you notice those hilarious t-shirts? There's something hilarious about an unassuming older woman wearing disgustingly vulgar t-shirts, and Hubie Halloween shamelessly utilizes this trope to a tremendous effect. Pieces like the boner donor shirt and I shaved my balls for this piece, along with Muff's diving school and kayaking makes me wet, all make an appearance. Did we miss anything else here? What are your thoughts on Hubie Halloween? Sound off in the comment section below. As always, this has been Riveted.